There is a 1-mile wide and 720-foot deep crater in the ground which exists a mere 130 miles away from Phoenix, Arizona. And no, I am not referring to the still equally fascinating meteor crater impact proximity to the Pinacate Volcano, despite the fact that this feature, and I truly mean this, is such a natural geologic gem which is known as the Pinacate Volcanic Field. And I mean this both figuratively and literally, as you can find large transparent crystals of the semi-precious gemstone labradorite which appear as a yellow citrine-like color there, although I want to remind everyone that collecting is not allowed here. But also, across this vast region the Pinacate Volcano has everything you could ask for across more than 500 distinct vents. So, here are a few of my favorites. One is the aforementioned 1-mile wide and 720-foot deep massive volcanic explosion crater in the ground known as El Elegante. Another is the Central Shield volcano, often host to a patch of snow during the winter known as Santa Clara. Third is an area devastated by a powerful volcanic eruption which buried almost everything in a 1-mile radius in a layer of up to 100 feet thick of pyroclastic flow deposits and ash, originating from a vent known as Cerro Colorado. But what is most interesting are the series of very dark black and pristine-looking lava flows that dot this landscape, which almost look as if they may have erupted within the last 500 years. Adding to this, there are both unconfirmed reports of volcanic eruptions here multiple times during the 20th century and more credible reports from Tohono O'odham legends here which also tell of recent volcanic eruptions here. Thus, while you might be surprised to learn that none of these lava flows, despite their appearance, have been dated to less than 11,650 years old, this complex is nevertheless classified as an active volcano. With this in mind, why does such a massive cluster geologic setting of volcanoes exist here in the first place? The answer relates to the fact that 13 million years ago Baja California was originally connected to the rest of Mexico. However, in the time since, it has drifted apart due to the appearance of a divergent plate boundary alongside a series of large transform faults. This motion not only created a series of parallel faults in the crust but also accentuated weak spots that existed due to pre-existing basin and range province spreading. As a result, these faults were utilized as paths of least resistance for magma to eventually erupt through, forming the Pinacate Volcano as well as the volcanoes on Baja California. The Pinacate Volcanic Field began forming 4 million years ago, when a series of basaltic geologic history cinder cones formed through mildly explosive eruptions. Eruptions initially occurred across a wide area, with no two eruptions occurring in the same place and magma not staying in the shallow crust during the long term, hence the scattered nature of eruptions which likely occurred at a rate of about once every 7,500 years. The eruptions which formed the Arizona portion of the field occurred in a similar manner between 2.5 and 1.6 million years ago via the creation of more than a dozen vents. However, the volcano would go into temporary shield volcano overdrive beginning 1.2 million years ago when a large batch of magma not only powered a cinder cone forming eruption on the surface, but remained in the shallow crust for the long term, slowly becoming more and more silica and alkali rich over time. A high rate of eruption subsequently continued occurring at the same magma chamber and vent, building an ever-expanding shield volcano known as Santa Clara. Santa Clara would erupt at least 150 times during a 100,000